Today we're talking about that time that America built a giant gun that could shoot nuclear warheads. Not really sure where to start with this, so we're gonna start at the very beginning. August 6, 1945, America dropped the first atomic bomb on Japan. Not saying it's right, I'm just saying it happened. This showed the entire world America's new superweapon, and it took all of about 45 minutes for America to want to shoot one out of a gun next. 45 minutes is a little bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. Basically, the US Army found out that the US Air Force had a more powerful weapon than they did, and they got jealous. So they had their eye out for any opportunity or any excuse that they could use to justify them getting their hands on nuclear weapons. And they would get that excuse on August 29th, 1949, when the Soviet Union would test their first atomic bomb. This kind of sort of implied that Uncle Sam wasn't #1 in the world when it came to unhealthcare anymore, and we can't have that shit now, can we? So the US government figured if we can drop a bomb and they can drop a bomb, we're gonna have to one-up them. The only way to do that is to Evel Knievel this shit. That's right, we're gonna put a nuclear warhead on a motorcycle and jump it across the Grand Canyon.
Let's jump this jump.
Wait. No. We're gonna put it in a cannon. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite that easy. As I'm sure you can imagine, you can't just stick a bomb that was designed to be dropped out of an airplane inside of a gun and expect it to work. They actually had to develop a casing that would allow the warhead to survive being subjected to the forces of being yeeted out of a cannon, which honestly sounds like a pretty complicated task. So they called up their buddies at Picatinny Industries and talked to a man by the name of Robert M. Schwartz. He would call back approximately 15 days later and say, hey, come pick your shit up, it's done. Yeah, 15 days and he developed the W9 Warhead. It is a 280mm artillery round that weighs approximately 850 pounds. And on impact, it will deliver an explosive yield of 15 kilotons, which if you don't know is equivalent to 15,000 tons of TNT. And then you know it's a nuke, so you have the spicy neutrons on top of that. Buh! You're using tons and that's metric, which makes you a hypocrite. Buh. No, just no to all of it. There's actually 3 different types of ton. A ton is 2,000 pounds. Then you have a metric ton, which is what you're referring to. And then there's a long ton, which is something Britain uses to like measure how many Independence Days they've given out or something. However, now that I know it upsets you, let's go ahead and do some more math to help us understand how absolutely enormous this explosion would be. So you have a ton, which is 2,000 pounds. And we've got 15,000 of those in this explosion. So 15,000 times 2,000 gives us 30 million pounds of TNT. Okay, a fucking blue whale weighs 300,000 pounds. That is 100 blue whales worth of TNT that you're pushing out the end of a cannon in one trigger pull.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, large aquatic mammals, still a better unit of measurement than the metric system. Okay, anyways, back to the story. So they developed the W9 Warhead. Now they need a gun to fire it because it's 280mm and America doesn't have a piece of artillery that big. So Robert Schwartz and Picatinny Industries go to work at that. They take some inspiration from the German K5 railroad guns from World War II, and over the course of the next 3 years, they developed the M65 Atomic Cannon. It weighs approximately 173,000 pounds and requires 2 semis to move it, one in the front and one in the back. It is quite literally a semi-war crime sandwich, and it's capable of launching the W9 Warhead up to 20 miles away. So they got the bullet, they got the gun, it's time to unleash the power of the sun. May 25th, 1953, they tested this thing out, and thank God they recorded it. Let's go ahead and just play the footage. Ladies and gentlemen, that is beyond Yeetus Deletus. That is Yeetus Control Alt Deletus. That explosion incinerated everything within a 1-mile radius and pretty much took out everything else within a 5-mile radius immediately. So that particular cannon, the only one to ever actually fire a nuke, was given the nickname Atomic Annie. This was a head nod to the K5 German railroad gun that inspired its creation. They were nicknamed Anzio Annie. However, pretty much all M65 atomic cannons are referred to as Atomic Annie. Yeah, there's more than one. There was actually one more present at the test site known as Sad Sack, and then after seeing how successful this program was, they ordered 18 more to be built. I mean, of course you need 20, what happens if you lose one? Which they fucking did. Apparently after the testing, Atomic Annie and Sad Sack got switched. Atomic Annie accidentally got sent overseas, and Sad Sack apparently got sent to Fort Sill. Nobody figured this out until 10 years later. So nobody knew where the actual Atomic Annie was, and she was given the nickname AWOL Annie, and it took like 2 years to fucking find her because nobody was allowed to know the location of these things. Which actually means that Atomic Annie was technically lost the entire time the M65 Atomic Cannon was in service because they were officially retired in 1963. And Annie wasn't even found until 1964. Which raises the question, why on earth would you retire the sun gun? Well, because around that time, Uncle Sam also figured out how to launch a nuke from a big bazooka out the back of a Jeep. Now we're gonna have to do a video on that next week. In conclusion, the moral of the story is please do not get into a pissing contest with America. We will win. Just quit while you're behind and save everybody a lot of time and money. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.